Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video where I'm going to show you a scan tool and never turn it on. This is a video for really about people that get their first car, and it's an older car, of course, and you're thinking about what would be a good present for somebody to have a scan tool. And I have no affiliation with this company. I just went on Amazon and I picked the cheapest one that was available, and this was it. And you know, they primarily do the same thing. This is only an OBD2 scan tool that will read codes and give you some freeze frame data and some some data PIDs to look at when the vehicle is running. And really for a beginner, this is probably more than enough for anybody. And I paid, including tax, $35. You can get some that are less, but I just like to show you the difference between, this is a $35 scan tool, and this is my go-to scan tool. I've used this for, well, over 20 years. And this is it here. And this is about a $60 scan tool. And I fix everything with this. And I don't need to have like a really expensive scan tool. This gives me enough data parameters that I can figure most things out. I've never had to go and borrow a really expensive scan tool to fix something, because when it comes down to it, I'm not going to dig into transmissions and do all kinds of fancy stuff. And so I mean, just for basic stuff, like misfires or emission codes and this kind of thing, well, I can figure them all out. And this is all I need right here. So yeah, that's the difference between a $35 scan tool and a $60 scan tool. This here will allow me to select certain data PIDs and put them on a screen by themselves, and I can look at them and see how they interact with each other. Plus, it also does graphing, and that's the ideal thing to do. But when you're thinking about buying somebody a scan tool for their first vehicle, and they're interested in wanting to learn about it, because if I were to give them something like this, well, it'd probably confuse them more than anything else. So yeah, a little $35 scan tool is just ideal. But I did find something wrong with this scan tool already, and you're free to leave a comment down below, and I'm going to show you the instructions. And right off the bat, in my view, the instructions are wrong, and it's a small little instruction sheet that you get with this scan tool. And you know what? Yeah, I think Houston, we got a problem. Let's go take a look. Okay, so let's start off with this really nice looking box. Man, they give you a box, a really nice, like pretty box and everything, and it's all, a lot of thought went into the box. But so this is their scan tool. And, this is the instructions here, and different languages. So we're just going to get to the instructions that pertain to this scan tool, and we're going to go on the English side, and I'm going to show you some things that are completely wrong. Okay, so I got you zoomed in there pretty good, and I'd just like you to take a look at the start diagnostics. The first thing they say is turn on the vehicle ignition. And then they go on to the next paragraph here telling you to hook it up. Well, I tell you what, that is wrong. The first thing you do not do is turn on the ignition. Whenever you're hooking up a scan tool, you always hook it up with the ignition off, and you disconnect it with the ignition off. That's pretty much the best practice that I've ever seen, because sometimes, well, things can go wrong when you're trying to hook up a scan tool, and you got to stab this in, and if something goes wrong in here, you never know, right? Yeah, you don't want the circuit to be live when you're hooking it up or disconnecting it, and that's usually a best practice. And I've never seen this before, where they're telling you to turn the ignition on first, and then further on down they're saying about their warranty. For non-human quality problems, we will unconditionally accept returns within 1 month and provide free warranty within 1 year. Okay, so that's the first time I ever heard about for non-human quality problems. So I thought I got a good chuckle out of that one. Okay, for the money, yeah, for 35 bucks, this is great for a new beginner that wants to start off and just kind of learn about how the tool operates and all the different, you know, what all these different data PIDs actually mean. And I think it's a great learning tool. And the C-Reader by Launch, that's my go-to. You know, I've never found a problem yet that I had the capability of fixing that this didn't find. But this instruction sheet, well, I'm not going to have this inside the box when I give it to my little friend. I have a friend, call her my little friend. She's like 17 years old now. She bought her first brand new car. She's my neighbor 3 doors down, Haley, and I'm going to give her that scan tool. And you know, she will need it on that car because her car is over 15 years old. And for sure, the check engine light is going to come on in the future. And at least she'll have an idea of what to do. At least plug in the scan tool, read what the code is, because I know for sure she's going to be coming over to my door and knocking on the door and say, Steve, could you come and take a look at my car? And I'm going to say, what's the code? And there's half the problem solved right there. So thanks for joining me here today. And I just thought I'd bring up this little bit of a tip on if you know somebody that, you know, has their first vehicle and they're interested in, you know, and be able to maintain and fix their own vehicles themselves. Well, a little small, inexpensive scan tool is an ideal gift for most people. They'll appreciate it, and they'll learn as they go on in life driving vehicles, because it can get very expensive if you don't have the capability to at least have a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of know-how on how to fix your own vehicle yourself. So thanks for joining me here today, and if you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe, come back again, and get some real reviews. Cheers.